Hi, everyone. It's Carla Pasaki, host of A Dog's Devotion. Before we begin today's episode, I just want to take a moment to thank you for listening. Whether you're walking your dog, driving to work, or just taking a quiet moment with your pup nearby, I am so grateful that you're here, part of this community of dog lovers who truly understand how much our dogs mean to us. Today's episode is an important one. It's about keeping our dogs safe, something that, as you'll soon hear, is very close to my heart. Now, in a minute, I'm going to introduce you to my guest. But before that, I am so inspired by companies like PetParker, who find ways, new, safer ways for us to bring our dogs along without fear or without risk. So stay tuned. This conversation is for every one of us who loves their dogs like family and wants to keep them safe. Now, let's begin the show. Welcome to A Dog's Devotion, the heartfelt podcast for every dog lover. Here, we celebrate the unbreakable bond between humans and their dogs. Each week, we sit down with inspiring guests who share powerful stories of love, resilience, and devotion. From the joy of adoption to the heartbreak of loss and the healing that follows, this is a space where we honor our best friends, the ones who leave paw prints on our hearts forever. Hello, everyone, and welcome to A Dog's Devotion. I'm your host, Carla Basaki. Today's guest is especially meaningful to me because it brings together my passion for dog safety and personal experience close to my heart. As some of you may know, my own beloved dog, Max, was stolen. Thankfully, the Calgary police were able to locate him and return him safely. But that traumatic experience made me more aware, of the vulnerabilities that dogs face when left alone, even for a few minutes. That's why I'm so grateful to have with me today a representative from PetParker. Now, this is a company founded in Brazil that it's made its way to Canada through the vision of Eddie Capuzzo, a Canadian entrepreneur who saw the potential and brought the idea north. Now, Eddie hopes to expand the PetParker system across Canada and into the U.S., offering dog owners a safer alternative to leaving dogs tied up outside stores, locked in cars, or even unattended at home. So in today's conversation, we'll talk about dog safety, real risks pet owners may not always consider, and how PetParker could be part of a better solution. So I know it's a long and winded intro, Addie, but you deserve it. What you're doing is, as
Thank you.
I mentioned, is so close to my heart. So thanks for joining me and shining a light on this important topic, because dogs aren't just pets. They're part of our family.
True. First of all, thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here, and your introduction was spot on. This is indeed an issue that we're seeing. Challenge, a gap in society. Pets
Definitely. Do you
are
have
more
pets?
than animals. Yes, she's right here.
Oh,
She's
she is. What
resting.
do you have?
She's resting. Yeah, I have a golden doodle, and sort of the inspiration behind bringing Pet Parker to Canada. I happened to learn about it very coincidentally through social media. I mean, I guess not all the time we spend on Facebook is a waste of time, because I did come across this
Yep.
from a friend that was visiting Sao Paulo, and it just clicked because, like many pet owners like yourself, as you mentioned, and countless others worldwide, and certainly in North America, in recent years, and quite substantially during the pandemic, pet ownership has risen. And with it, also a change, a transformation, and a stronger bond that we share with our pets. They're more than domesticated animals. They are part of our families. Countless research show that for over 90% of pet owners, we now refer to them as pet parents because they are part of our family.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely thing there.
That's so true. And you brought up a couple interesting points. During COVID, a lot of people got dogs, and
Hmm.
we stayed at home with our dogs. And statistically, also, women aren't getting married; they are getting a dog. So dogs are not just a pet anymore. They really are part of our family. I mean, Max was, I always joke and say, but it's true. Max was my boyfriend. He was my best friend. He was my girlfriend. He was my buddy. He was everything. Max was my partner in crime. He came with me everywhere. So,
Yes,
when
yes.
I mentioned the story off the top, but I was in Calgary and I was doing a live hit for global TV and for the 6 o'clock news. And I brought Max with me. I always brought him to work and I had tied him up to a pole behind me literally for 5 seconds. And I turned around and he was gone. And you can imagine it was the
Yes.
worst night of my life because the police didn't find him until 2 a.m. the next morning. And that's when I realized this is really important. And that's when I go so far as to when I see a dog that's tied up outside alone,
Yes.
a lot of
Yes.
times I'll just hang out until the owner comes back because until something like that happens to you, you don't realize
True.
it does happen, you know? So let's go off. I want to mention some statistics and then we'll go
Yes. Yes.
and talk
Yes.
about what's going on because I think it's really important that people know what's actually happening. So we know that leaving a dog in a hot vehicle can be deadly.
Right.
For instance, animals can sustain heat stroke or even die in as little as 15 minutes. The groups report that in 2023, 163 animals died from heat related incidents in cars, and 855 more were rescued. Dog theft is on the rise. Some sources estimate that around 2 million dogs are stolen annually in the US and only a small fraction of stolen dogs are ever recovered. In
Right.
recent years, the number of pets reported stolen has increased. I can't believe it, over 140% over a 4 year span in some reports. Yeah, I can go on and on and on. And
Yes.
Addie, too, what's going on. It's a real risk, not only in the US, but in Canada as well. So let's talk about you say you've got a dog and that was your inspiration. I just mentioned some staggering statistics.
Yes.
So, how did Pet Parker start? I know it started in Brazil and then you bringing it over to here.
Yes, yes. Well, first and foremost, those statistics are more than numbers. They impact real lives of the pets, but the well being of people that are very attached to them. And it's my view and my understanding that these numbers even underrepresent the real phenomena of accidents. Many situations aren't reported or don't even appear in the statistics because pets, for the most parts, are still considered property. So even when they're stolen, they aren't identified as what they really are. Indeed, Pet Parker came about through a situation. It wasn't theft, but it was dogs that were suddenly found themselves released outside a grocery store. So the founder actually popped into the store to pick up some items for dinner, and within minutes he heard a commotion that his two Labrador retrievers were somehow released. Maybe somebody untied them, maybe they got, and that happens a lot. We just the other a couple of weeks ago, store near my house, a dog tore its collar and ran away, and luckily was recovered. But it took about 5 days of
Oh,
5 sleepless nights until
yeah.
it was recovered. These situations happen all the time. They do, that fear is an issue, but there's all other situations. Dogs left unattended, whether it's a vehicle, maybe it's a nice day and doesn't get hot, but a car can get stolen. You wouldn't leave a human child in the car on purpose. Why would you do that to a dog? Dogs that are tied outside, they're still animals. They can still react in certain ways. They have these behaviors that sometimes are unpredictable. What if a child approaches them in the wrong way and they get bitten? Then you have a lawsuit on your hands. So safety and accessibility of other people is also a consideration. Yes.
Yeah, you bring up a great point. I forget, little kids always want to go and touch a dog.
Yes, they see a
They always
puppy. They
grab the
don't know it.
tail,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
as you know, children have to stay in front of the dog's face. They can't be grabbing the back because the dog could be aggressive.
Yeah. I was
Yeah, there's
standing
some
outside a grocery store the other day and there were two dogs. So I kept my distance. There were two dogs. I wanted to talk to the dog owner and tell him, you shouldn't really be doing this. Even if you go in for a few minutes, they can easily be stolen. And while I was waiting for the pet parent to come outside, another passerby just passed by those dogs. Sophie, she doesn't like the postman.
Isn't she barking? I can't hear her.
Yeah, she was here. So another lady just passed by and instinctively waved at the dog. She thought she was keeping her distance, but one of them jumped and bit her on her arm. Now it didn't break the skin or anything like that, but that's a reaction that it happens in a second. And yeah, those situations happen all the time. Many of them are underreported. She didn't tell anyone. She just went on her way.
So you must see a opportunity here in North America then if you're, we just went through all these statistics and you're seeing this
Yes.
firsthand. You must see, I mean, so many supermarkets and grocery stores and malls that need a pet parker.
True. It's an unmet need and opportunity. I mean, essentially, what we know already has happened in society is that there are many more pets. Statistics in the U.S. are around half of 50% of households. In Canada, it's a bit less, but we are among the countries with the highest penetration of pets, and I'm referring to dogs specifically on one hand. The other hand are the strengthening bond that we share with those animals. So we tend to take them more places. We need that flexibility. We can't leave for them at home for too long. So that that involvement of pets in society, in places of business, many people can take them to work these days. So when they drive, they have the pet with them. They want to go into the store. What do they do? Should they drive back home and back to the store? So that gap is still there. And on the other hand, it depends on where you live. But here in Vancouver, where I am, constantly we can see dogs leashed outside, whether it's places, grocery stores is a top segment, but also outside coffee shops, drugstores, and the provincial liquor stores. So many places, due to either health regulations or liability concerns, do not allow animals inside unless they're service animals or guide dogs. So that growing participation of pets in daily life do create this challenge, and that is in itself the opportunity. On one hand, let's improve the safety of the pets and all people and all passersby, improve the accessibility of those venues to both pet owners and others, and at the same time also present new ways for people to walk and spend time and spend money at those businesses, so we can also drive commerce and mobility and accessibility for everyone with
Mhm.
this unique solution.
Okay, so let's talk about Pet Parker itself. How does it
Hmm.
work? Where are they
Yes,
located?
very important.
And yeah, let's tell people about that because it's pretty interesting.
Right. So if people didn't have a chance to look what Pet Parker is, I'll very simply explain it. Pet Parkers are pet safety stations, or for lack of a better term, dog houses that are connected, that are app accessible, and are a safe place for a short period of time to settle your dog while you need to leave them to go into a store, to pick up something from the shopping center, pick up prescriptions, or even drop off a child at the daycare. And we have one location that is used exactly like that. The dog houses, the pet parkers, are, as I mentioned, app accessible, so you use them just like you would rent a scooter or a bike. We see them popping up in more and more cities around the world, and with that application, you unlock the pet parker, sell your dog inside, and close the door. Within that environment, they are kept. We have temperature monitoring and ventilation. There's even a camera for you to watch your dog while you're away from them for a few minutes. We're only talking about short term, so on average 15 minutes, and that's based on hundreds of thousands of users. That's the average that we see right now. So it's a short term alternative for tying them or leaving them in a vehicle.
So it's safe, it's reliable. I love the fact that it's app accessible, so you don't have to worry about somebody else being able to open the door.
Correct. When your dog is inside, nobody else can open it. Only we can remotely if needed in case of emergency. There's also a backup key if there's a power loss, because it is connected to electricity for the climate features and the camera and all the intelligence that it has. It's centrally monitored as well, so we're keeping an eye on the service. And I neglected to mention a very important aspect of the service. It is a free service for pet owners. It is funded completely through the businesses, the public institutions that provide it as an amenity, and also sponsored through advertising, which much of our services today are.
No, the fact that it's a free service
Hmm.
is just proof that more people should be taking advantage of it. So
True.
where can we find pet parkers now as far as Canada goes? And when are you hoping to expand into the US?
Any day now. Right now, they're exclusively available in Western Canada, in Metro Vancouver, with some demo stations located elsewhere. In British Columbia, we have a few heading out to Toronto right now. So the Greater Toronto area is definitely of interest. We've received countless requests from all over the country, but we have to, grow in a way that we can support them and operate them in a trusted and reliable manner. The service, as you mentioned, originates from Brazil, and we have right now collectively the largest network of its kind. It's not PetParker is not the only solution in this space. There are others in Europe. There have been attempts in the US, in Australia. This is still, a relatively new way of providing safety and accessibility for animals out in the public, but we are growing and we're very ambitious. There are a few pilots underway right now, starting to get off the ground in both Europe and in Asia. I can't speak in detail about what those are, but they're very promising.
Uh, Congratulations. I was just noticing some things on your Instagram account, and I just want to mention the correct Instagram account because it's very informative for people who want to learn more about it.
Hmm.
It's PetParker.ca is your Instagram handle, and I'm actually just looking at it right now, and it shows, what the Pet Parker looks like. You see people using it, you see dogs inside. There's some really great photos of dogs sitting in there. With that, can you share any real life user stories or testimonials of how Pet Parker has safeguarded dogs or given owners a peace of
Yes,
mind?
yes. Yeah. Well, in Canada alone, they've been used over 15,000 times, and that's in a period of a year and a half. But collectively across the world, probably close to 200,000 times. So, but what do we hear? And many of those testimonials are available on our website, PetParker.ca, as well, with videos and stories. Fundamentally, what we hear from pet owners is that it unleashes, excuse the pun, new possibilities for spending more time with their pets and combining those daily walks, because that's a matter of biology here. The dogs need to go out several times a day. So people have the benefit of combining their errands and their walks. I need to go to the grocery to pick up some milk anyways, and Sophie needs her walk. So why not walk an extra couple of blocks, get our exercise in, not use the vehicle, get the items and come back? It's a win-win. So that's exactly what we hear from countless users. Are also, when they are in the store, they enjoy that much more relaxing experience. They can take their time to browse and shop for what they need, and they have a better understanding of how much time they spend, because people sometimes underestimate for how long they go into the store. So the app tells you what the temperature is. You can watch your dog and you can see how long you've been. We've had users using Pet Parker 3 times, even 4 times a week. So yeah, very, very positive reaction. And just the feeling of safety and knowing your dog is comfortable and is protected is just it's a game changer for many people.
I agree. I wish, when I had Max, just knowing that peace of mind, if I could see him on the app, knowing that he's safe in there and he's okay while I run into the store quickly and pick a few things up. Wow, would that ever relieve a lot of anxiety for shoppers inside
Can
wondering,
imagine. I can
if
imagine.
their dog is going to be there when they come out.
Yes, yes.
This is all great stuff. Is there anything, like, are there any limitations, size restrictions, safety boundaries that the owners need to keep in mind, like weather extremes, anything
I'd
like that you can tell us?
I'd say that the solution is intended for short-term stay. This is not an alternative to a doggy daycare. Nobody leaves their pet in. They might do it at home in a kennel in a crate for several hours. That's okay. That's their choice. But the pet parker is it's a public amenity that is intended just for short stays. It is sized for most pet breeds that are found in the city, but not all pet breeds. So there's a matter of how big can you make it such that it doesn't take up space that the store needs for merchandise or other needs. So you need to keep the entrances clear and whatnot. So it is sized appropriately, but it's not like a large dog crate that is used on airlines where the dogs must be able to turn around because they're going to spend 4 or 6 hours in a flight. This is 15 minutes on average, so that's important. Temperature wise, we keep the temperature within a safety range. If the temperature is at any point not safe, you won't be able to use the system. It's as simple as that. But we do try wherever possible to put them indoors where it's already climate control. And we are working on improving aspects of air conditioning and heating in the winter and things like that. But many of the placements that we have are indoors, which is perfectly okay. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'd say on a hot day, you probably want to bring water with you. We do not provide water in our system, in our pet parkers, because we don't want cross contamination between animals. That's a pet owner's responsibility. We walk with a water bottle and a collapsible bowl everywhere we go anyway, so that's it's not an issue.
Right. Where do you see Pet Parker in 5, 10 years from now?
Yes, I see pet safety being an issue with Pet Parker and similar solutions around the world being kind of everywhere. Everywhere where we go, and we need to keep both pets and people safe. I expect it to be ubiquitous for the clear reason that pets are a big part of society and will also only go bigger than that. And with the rise in pet ownership and the frequency of them being outside, we won't be able to have multiple dogs go. Lots of people say we should be like Europe because in Europe they allow them in stores. My
Yeah.
prediction is that that's probably unsustainable because not everybody is really great at training their dogs. We adopt dogs that we don't know their history. They are still animals and they still have instinctive behaviors that we can't always suppress. So I expect this to be 5 or 10 years ago. From now, one day, let's put it this way: one day we'll say, "Wasn't this always like that? How could we do without it?" That's the kind. Now, we're still early days. It still takes time to introduce it to people, to convince them that it's safe. We see from many people that they use it the first time, don't put the dog inside because they want to know that the app works, that the door won't get locked and things
Locked,
like that.
right.
Right? You got to build that comfort. So we got the early adopters on board since our service is free, and that's our business model. It doesn't mean that it has to be like that, but since our service is free, we have to also work on the businesses or the public institutions like community centers and cities and whatnot to partner with us. I also see, in terms of vision, that municipalities are going to step up as well and fund those services. We'll find them on city, on block corners where small stores don't have the space for it, but they can definitely benefit from the ability to serve the public while reducing those situations of dogs in cars, which cost taxpayers one way or another. First responders, bylaw officers need to attend to those situations. So let's eliminate those. Let's make the sidewalks safe for people that are passing by and are afraid of dogs or small children or people on wheelchairs. All those situations will come to a point where we need those solutions, and we're such a solution.
What's the response been from the the businesses that actually partner up with you and install pet parkers outside of their storefront?
Yes, the response has been very positive. I mean, some of are testing and they find that they don't see the benefits or they don't see it as their responsibility. So we relocate those stations to other businesses. Overall, the response is very positive, and they hear it not directly from us. They hear it from their own customers. So it's a great way for a business to really step up and serve the community and serve the customers that they're that pet spend money within the
Mm.
business.
Yeah,
Um,
I would think more people would be going out spending it would give them people more opportunity to go out and do some shopping now that they
yeah,
know that their dogs are
yeah.
safe while they're in
We
the store.
we definitely hear from part of their testimonials, and you can read them on our website. Is that people choose to shop where Pet Parker is available.
Mhm.
Literally, I have a choice of two stores equal distance from my house. I'd go to the one that offers this amenity. And the very surprising thing is that store might actually be more expensive, and I'd go there. So
Yeah.
these are facts.
We mentioned this right off the top that more and more people aren't having babies, but becoming dog owners instead. So this really does open up the market for you and Pet Parker to expand
I
astronomically
think so.
across
Yeah, I think
Canada.
so. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we see pet ownership in all types of households. I meet lots of seniors that now, the pet is their companion. Younger generations where they might not have human children or are just delaying it. And in my case, where our kids are older and now our third child just happens to be a golden doodle over here on the couch.
I
So
wish I
there's
could
all
see her.
yeah, yeah. She's on
Is she
Instagram. She's one of our
is she the
brand
dog on your
ambassadors.
Instagram page?
Yeah, she's there on
Okay.
some of them at least. Yeah, but
That's awesome.
the best part of this job is and I'm sure with other entrepreneurs and founders that you interview here, it's the ability and the opportunity to spend time with those amazing creatures.
Oh my gosh, I just interviewed a woman from Mutts and the Six, and,
Oh yeah,
yeah, you know her,
I
I'm
know
pretty
her.
sure.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
we had a great conversation, and we were talking about her dog Layla, who was laying on the couch behind her and kept pawing her throughout the whole interview. It was really cute. But look at what she does. She has events where people go with their dogs
Amazing.
and they're
Yes.
inside, and you can
I think we
eat
were
and have
in
a couple
one of their
drinks.
first event when we tried to get our foot in the in Toronto, but looking forward to participating in more. It's a great initiative.
Isn't it? I think so too. And she's a really inspiring young entrepreneur. She's done a great job.
Yes, yes, indeed.
But so have you, because dogs are a cherished member of our family, as you know, Addie, and we really need to keep them safe. And I know through my own experience, it's a great way
Hmm.
to have our pets be with us all the time. Still do our shopping, but know that with Pet Parker, they are safe. So I want to thank
Exactly.
you. I want to thank
Still
you for
remember,
having the
home is
vision.
the best place for them, but when we need it, we know we can rely on a solution to keep them safe.
Percent. There are times when we want to bring them with us, and you open up the opportunity where we can take our dogs for, as you say, go to the grocery store and pick up a few things and take them with us.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Addie, for joining me.
My pleasure. Thank you, Carla, for the opportunity
My gosh, it was such a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you for bringing this to Canada and to the US and
and
who
the
knows
world,
where else,
hopefully one day.
to the world. Yes. Thanks, Addie. And thanks for joining me on A
Okay.
Dog's
All
Devotion.
the best.
I'm your host, Carla Basaki. Thanks, Addie. Bye. Thank you for joining us on A Dog's Devotion. If today's story touched your heart, share it with a fellow dog lover. And remember, whether they're by your side or watching over you, our dogs are our greatest teachers of love, loyalty, and living in the moment. Until next time, give your pup an extra hug and never forget the devotion of a dog. I'm your host, Carla Basaki. Thanks for joining me.